Hi, I'm Megan McKenzie and I play Kelly Fox. Barons is a story of young adults with ambitions and dreams and romances and heartbreaks and betrayal and sex, drugs, rock and roll. Obviously the surf culture is at its core, and what these, that kind of brought these people all together originally. And then funding that, but then, eventually greed and more ambition and all those things that, get in the way of friendships and, oneself, and where that can take you. And so there's a lot of inner, conflict with a lot of the characters, a lot of different mixed matched romances, and yeah, lots of flavor, lots of action. So I think it's a fun, and based in the 70s, which is also, always a really fun era to be able to replicate in some capacity with our fashion and the music and the hairstyles and makeup, all natural. And yeah, I think being teleported back to the sets and things, it's quite an iconic storyline, if you ask me. Kelly is a small town runaway with Hollywood dreams. And when you meet Kelly Fox, I think she is not even a fish out of water, she is a tiger out of water, because the beach was never her thing. I think she's, as an actress, aspiring actress, she's adaptable. So being there, confidently being able to walk into a party by herself, that's fine. But then there's this whole other energy in that, room being Buddy. And so there's definitely this new territory that happens. And whether you want to call it cosmic energy that brought her there that night, whatever it was, there's a reason that she's there and that her and Buddy collide, because, that kind of, like a lot of people have, some people haven't, but those people that you meet in your life, they only come every so often, and that every day after that you're most likely going to be together, because it's just an undeniable attraction. So I think when you first meet her, she's wise, but she's still young and needs to kind of learn things. So I think I think in that first scene when she's got the premonition, she knows what she's getting into, but they are, it's a flame that's been ignited and there's no going back. It's a wildfire. And so I think that kind of then steers her path for the rest of the journey from there on out. I think it was one of those fork in the road moments, getting in that car and going to that party. She had no idea. Buddy. I think her love for Buddy is definitely they're the type of love that burns bright and fast and hot and heavy, but also, could burn out pretty quickly. So I think it just is one of those relationships that, happens straight away in the series, and that's where you meet her. And from there on out, I think her world does revolve around him. He is the priority. She had priorities going into the relationship, so she obviously still has her passion and her drive to want to be this actress. But at the end of the day, I don't think at the cost of losing him. I think if she had to choose, she would probably go down the path of a life with Buddy, because that's her person, that's her family, and that's where her heart lies. So I think that would be, the driving force for sure, is her love for him. If you're asking me personally, as playing Kelly Fox, like young love would be one that would jump out for me, because that is something that on her storyline, she is, that's the direction of her course, is her young love. So that really is what you're going to see from her, is just her operating out of that, like complete love, support, loyalty, trust, all those things that come from just, loving this person and being probably a bit dumb, you know, young and dumb, like unknowingly. So I think that's one that jumps off. And then I guess I'd say probably for the other one, ambition. I think ambition is definitely a lot of the boys, you know, they all have this ambition to kind of get on board the bandwagon of the next one. So starting with Snapper, and then Trotter just got the taste of that, had different big dreams for that. Well, this, you know, they had, in the end, they all had a little bit of ambition one way or another. And then, you know, the Americans come on the set and want to take it to Wall Street. So I definitely think that ambition's a huge, and you know, that always gets in between everybody. Greed and ambitions can be the killer. And then, you know, for the boys, ego, pride, all that kind of stuff gets in the way. So yeah, I'd say probably those two. I love Kelly. I was so intrigued by her back to when we were reading the scripts as well. As I said, I am also American, and I'm also a hometown runaway with big Hollywood dreams. And yeah, so I was fortunate to also, as one of my first gigs, to be so parallel to my character in a lot of ways, and then not, but. You know, I'm intrigued by her because, you know, she has this confidence to go into this world and go after her dreams. And, you know, I think she has all those beautiful aspects of the patience that she goes through with Buddy. I don't know if I would have those. But, no, she intrigues me by the way she's just so loyal, and she's just a ride or die. And, you know, this guy is obviously going through his demons, and I think I love him anyway because I probably have similar, like, demons, but not the same demons, and in the way of, you know, we both don't have those families we're clinging on to, so we are each other's families. And I just think that's a really beautiful thing to see, you know, is two people finding each other. And in my mind, I would do anything for the guy, and you know, I think he would too, but it's just, you know, drugs got the way. He would do anything for drugs after that. Working with the cast has been definitely a highlight. As I've said, most of her stories is heavily alongside Buddy, who is Lincoln, and I couldn't have been more lucky to have this experience with him. He's very, like, he's humbled me as a person. He's just, he's so encouraging and like gentle and beautiful to work with, so professional. And I find it's just been it's made this whole experience really just even more enjoyable. So he's been wonderful. And yeah, I just think between him and I, there's not a lot of ego. So if he wants to, you know, bring something, I take it on board, or vice versa. And we've had a really good time just kind of being able to play in a safe space together. And then obviously working with George and Meg Fraser in, you know, some of those American scenes, it feels so real. Like, it feels like we are these friends who kind of, you know, he's kind of that responsible one who we can kind of pick on, and but he's kind of become like a brother to me. And unfortunately, because of lockdowns and COVID, we haven't been able to spend that much time together. But I do think, you know, we'd all be friends if not, you know, if we have the opportunity to spend more time together. But yeah, there's a really good energy across all the cast. The 70s, I mean, in my own personal life, I do kind of I love getting inspired by eras, but that one especially, I think a lot of people do. And it's like having a bit of an LA background of living there for a while, you know, they're very mid-century influenced, and I definitely bring that here to Australia, which is, like, makes me feel a little like fish out of water here sometimes because I got that retroness in me. But I love it, the music. I mean, Rolling Stones, Van Morrison, Fleetwood Mac. I mean, come on, it's endless, it's iconic. I even just like how everything's grainy and you know, like that vintage feel has definitely like come back around. But you know, they were the original kind of the OG rock stars. So it's been fun to be able to kind of teleport there and be a part of that. I think my character, Kelly Fox, in the 70s, obviously was a liberated time in life. So I think there's a little bit of that more, you know, free love and playfulness and drugs and all that kind of stuff that was, you know, good for a girl who wants to run away from home and do those kinds of things. But also paving her way through Hollywood would have definitely been, I mean, just very heavily ruled by the white male and being, you know, a lot about image. And I'm sure there would have been a lot of those, you know, barriers to have to break through, but not really being able to have the voice to. So you just kind of get jaded by it. And I think you see that a little bit in this show where, you know, for her, it's like, it's very normal that these guys are the way they are. You play the game and then you get what you get out of it. So there's a little bit of that dance, whereas someone like Buddy doesn't understand that. So he's like, whoa, 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 which is the natural reaction because you shouldn't react, you know, you shouldn't feel, you know, like women are just items. But I think back then that was true to its time. And thankfully, we're not really at that place anymore. You know, we're getting to we're evolving, but yeah. Marion is a delightful human being, just full stop. But also she's so, I mean, the ensemble, as everyone knows, it's a large one. And to have to execute all these, I mean, you walk through that wardrobe warehouse and I'm like, it's crazy. So she's done a wonderful job, especially with the 2 different countries and the eras. The details have been so, I'm blown away by her talent. She's wonderful. Yeah, definitely killed it. And for me personally, it's been so fun. I love it. I also love that, you know, most all of us women are very natural. I think we spend like total of 10 minutes max in the makeup and hair chair, which is so like weird. And at first it was a little bit adjustment, but now I'm like, even in my normal life, just kind of peeling back because it is liberating and it's nice just to feel, I mean, obviously we get a bit of tan and stuff like that, so that helps, but yeah, it's nice just to feel that kind of natural beauty across and just being who you are and not disguising behind that, and that's it. And obviously, I'm a bit more of like a tomboy in real life, so like she actually gets to wear such cool, kind of like flowy outfits and really, you know, very hippie sexy. Kelly gets some amazing outfits that are very contrasted to everybody else, and might be biased, but I love my outfits the best now. But yeah, it's been fun to kind of get into old Hollywood meets the beach in the 70s. It's definitely been helpful to play the character because, you know, in the crazy long hippie hair. Yeah, it's been a really fun element to play with. Barron's is seductive, nostalgic, and iconic.